Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for Talk.
No, you don't recognize where you are tonight. Well, hopefully you don't recognize where you are tonight. You're in the office of the new Chief of Police for the city of Kennett. Hopefully you've never been here before. I've never been here before, but this is Jim Paine. Yes. Jim, good to welcome you to Kennett, and I have just met Jim also, but if you have a camera pointed at you, you can ask all sorts of personal questions, and they're obligated to answer. So I'm going to ask a few. Jim, where was home to you?
Kaysville, Utah.
Utah. But now I read some of your early history, and you rattled around in California with a lot of different jobs.
I did. I started my law enforcement career in Southern California. With the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office.
Now, when did you begin to think about having something to do with law enforcement?
Probably when I was out in junior high school, when I was asked to do a career report in one of my classes in junior high school.
And you said, like most junior high boys, I either want to be a fireman or a policeman?
Policeman or fireman, exactly right.
And you followed up on it, really? Was anyone in your family, was your father in law enforcement?
Nope, I'm the first in law enforcement
and you stayed with it how many years?
Well, I've been in law enforcement for about 38 years, and I was in the fire service for about 5 years. So I've got
you were a fireman too?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I did read something that you had said, some of your earlier jobs, and I just jotted down a list. FBI Academy, drug enforcement, you were sheriff in San Bernardino, narcotics and intelligence, consumer fraud, highway patrolman, and you've tried to retire several times and they won't let you.
I've retired twice.
You've retired twice?
My wife said that the problem is I haven't figured out what I want to do when I grow up, so I just keep coming back to it. So.
Okay. Now, you and your wife have moved here. What about children? Any children with you now?
They're all grown.
All
so
grown?
They're not with us now.
All grown and gone. All right. Anybody in law enforcement?
Nope, I'm the only one.
Oh, okay. So either they had enough of it or, well, I don't know what.
Well, they lived with it for all their lives growing up, so they probably had enough of it.
Did you consider this, or does your wife consider this to be a dangerous job that you have?
I don't.
Have you thought about it being dangerous ever?
Well, I think you always have to keep in mind that.
Have you had close scrapes?
We've had some close scrapes over the years.
You want to talk about any of it?
No, they're just not any different than any of the guys that work for me now. I mean, they have close scrapes every day in this profession. It's just part of what goes on along with the job.
I would think that would really be something that you would worry about every day. See, my husband went to the dental office, and I didn't worry about him getting killed before he got home. But this job carries a lot of danger with it, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but you prepare for it, you train for it, you're cognizant of it every day as you go to work, and it's not something that's in the forefront of your thoughts every day, but you're aware of it, and you're aware of the things that you're called upon to do on a daily basis. But if you focused on that and you dwell on that, then you'd have a hard time functioning in this profession.
Tell me, what is the very first law enforcement job you had? What did you start out with doing?
I was a deputy sheriff for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office in Southern California, and started off in the corrections division, and then from there went to the jail division, and then went out in the field as a patrol officer.
Okay. Now, I noticed it says drug enforcement, you were sheriff, narcotics, and which of all of these things challenged you most? Which did you enjoy more? And which did you consider to be the most dangerous?
I've enjoyed every single one of them.
You enjoyed? You weren't ever afraid?
Well, I'm not going to say I wasn't afraid. If I had to say, if I told you I wasn't afraid, then I wouldn't be being truthful with you, because yeah, there's times, especially when you're serving warrants and those kinds of things, and you don't know what's on the other side of the door and what might greet you on the other side of the door.
Is that one of the most dangerous things you do, serve warrants?
Well, I think, you know, it has been in the past, but one of the most dangerous things that officers do on a daily basis is handling traffic stops. You just never know who's in that vehicle that you're stopping.
The highway patrolman walks up to the car, and I think that's the time that they're going to put a gun out and kill him.
Very, very much could be. And the same thing with our officers here in Kennett. They're faced with the exact same things on a daily basis. They absolutely don't know who they're dealing with from minute to minute. You never know what kind of a situation you're going to walk into.
And you still get a rush of adrenaline, don't you, as you're walking up to that door to see?
That's why we're adrenaline junkies. That's why they call us adrenaline junkies.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
which of these jobs would you say you enjoyed doing more of the things we've mentioned?
I've enjoyed every single one of them equally. And the reason I say that is because every one of those positions has been something different, new. It had different rewards and different challenges. And each one of them was exciting.
What did you do with the FBI? What was the job there?
Well, I didn't work for the FBI. As the police chief, I attended what they call the FBI National Academy.
Oh, okay.
And that's a leadership training program that the FBI puts on, and it's for law enforcement executives all over the world. We had classmates, some of my classmates, they're from all over the world, from Europe, from South America.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And so it was an 11-week program where I was at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia for 11 weeks, and it was a leadership training program.
Okay. Now, you retired, and then you came to Kennett to take this job.
I retired from the Palm Springs Police Department in California. I moved to Utah. I got back into law enforcement when I moved into Utah. Retired from the Utah Highway Patrol, and went to work for a sheriff's office, Davis County Sheriff's Office in northern Utah. That's where I was when I accepted this position.
Now, I'm interested to know how you in Utah learned anything about Kennett, Missouri, down in the Boot Heel. How did you learn about this job?
Well, it's interesting because when you're in this profession, then you learn of there's certain places that will advertise law enforcement.
Okay, you didn't necessarily know anyone from here.
Nope, I did not know.
It wasn't word of mouth.
Nope, I just had started to look for this level of a position, and Kennett, Missouri was one of them that
And you came here and looked.
I came here and looked.
What did you think?
I thought, I can come do this. So.
Yeah. Now, that's interesting. He's not really going to tell me everything he thought, but he thought, I can do this.
Right. When I came and saw Kennett, I saw.
But now we're little. We're.
You're little, but you're not little. I mean, there's many cities in Utah that are a lot smaller than this.
Well, yes, I grew up in Cardwell, so it's a lot smaller than this.
Right. And so, it's a city of close to 12,000 people. I mean, so that's not a small community.
Now, you've only been here a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks
So far. Are you settled in? Is it pretty routine to get to know neighbors and so forth?
Everybody's been very, very friendly and very accepting since I've been here. As far as being settled in, No, I'm not settled in yet, but I think that's going to take a little bit of time. But I've met several of my neighbors, and everybody's been very nice, very cordial.
Okay, I hope you're watching to know that you're very, very cordial. Now, one of the things that I read that you had said that you are interested in doing is a lot of community outreach. You want the community to know more about the police department and explain that.
Well, my experience has been that if we are going to be effective, if the police department is going to be effective in addressing issues in the community, they have to have a good working relationship with the community. The police department is a part of the community. It's not separate from the community. And oftentimes, community members and the police department, members of the police department will feel like they're separate, that they don't have a good working relationship. It's incumbent upon us to reach out and to establish relationships out in the community to help us be able to do our jobs. I've got 22, 25 sworn officers here on this department. That's 25 sets of eyes and ears. There's close to 12,000 people in this community. If we develop a partnership and a working relationship with them, I've just expanded my agency by that many sets of eyes and ears in the community that can let us know what's going on, let us know where problem areas are, and be able to work hand in hand to address problems, address issues, come up with programs to target specific things, and also to be able to increase the quality of life. And these are quality of life issues. The things that are going on crime-wise and things that are in the community, they affect the quality of life in Kennett. Okay, and I think all of us will agree that the standard of living and the quality of life that we want is high. We don't want to accept, criminal activity or folks that are in the community that are not doing anything to build up the community, but doing everything to tear down the community. And I'm talking about drugs, gang issues, and those kinds of things. These are folks that aren't contributing positively. And I think most people want a good quality of life, not only for themselves, but for their families and for families that come to visit them. And that's why it's important to develop those relationships. Do
you think you might plan some of those community outreach things in the near future, or what are you thinking? Because that sounds to me like a great idea. You said you had 24, 25 officers. It would be good to see them. It'd be good to meet them. I don't know all of them. I know a few, but be good.
Well, it is important. What you find out a lot of times is that people don't. What they know about the police department is what they've heard from somebody else. They've never had any direct contact with them. Most people, throughout their lifetime, the only time they'll have contact with law enforcement is through a traffic stop or traffic violation. And it's important that they get to know these officers. These are good people that are in this profession because they believe in what they're doing. They know that they can make a difference in the community, and they certainly aren't in it for the money, because we certainly don't pay them what we should be paying them. Okay. And so I think it's important that the community knows who they are and gets to know them on a different level, on a different basis.
Anything coming up just in the next few days that you can tell us about?
Well, one of the things that we're doing right now is I've just this morning appointed Lieutenant Tim Trowbridge to be the public information officer for the Kennett Police Department. He will be the go-to guy for the media. He will be the point of contact for the media for the police department. And part of the reason of doing that is so that we have positive outreach with the media also, so that we can get information out to the media in a timely manner. And again, this is another partnership we need to form. We need to have the ability to get information out, and that's certainly one of the most effective ways to do it is through the media, the newspapers, the radios, TV, and those types of things. It's good, effective mediums for doing that.
Well, tonight you have met the new Chief of Police for the City of Kennett, and he's Jim Paine, and just sitting here chatting with him, you get a very favorable impression of the gentleman, so we're expecting great things out of you.
Well, thank you. I'll do my best to live up to those expectations and hope not to disappoint you.